All right, so for this one, it says arrange the geometric series from least to greatest based on the value of their sums. So on our last example problem, I showed you how to just do this in your calculator. And so you can find the sum simply by just plugging it in your calculator. So if you go to math and scroll down to where it says summation, I don't know if you could see that. Yeah. Scroll down to where it says summation, hit enter. Whoops. I'm gonna have to set it right here. I'm just gonna plug this in as I see it, except I'm just gonna use X instead of K. You can use K, it's in here, but then you gotta find K on the number pad, hit this alpha key. I'm just gonna use X. So I'm gonna say X. On our last example, we started at 0. So the problem was written one way, but now we're starting at 1. So, but what we're changing, so this one we're gonna have a term for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's gonna be 4 terms. When you start at 0, there's one more than this upper boundary. But here's an interesting thing. So this is the initial value. Well, actually, let me plug these numbers in. So this is 3, and that's going to be raised to the x minus 1. So we're still doing it at 0, right? But we're changing the formula. In other words, the first number I'm going to plug in 1 here, but 1 minus 1 is 0. So earlier I was saying that sometimes we say n minus 1, and sometimes we just say n. It depends on where you start. If you start with 0 in the summation, then you would just put x or n or t, right? But if you start with 1, in other words, you want the first time that common ratio is going to be raised to a power, you want it to equal 1. And that's what they're doing, okay? So now that I've got that entered in, if I just hit enter, the summation of those 4 terms will equal 80. Oh, I did the second problem. So let's go here. I didn't do the first problem. So this one equals 80. So we're just going to repeat that process with all these other ones. Actually, I'm going to move this over here so you guys can't see it, and I'll just put this right here. So now the next one that I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to hit math. I'm going to scroll down to summation. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to do the first one. But I am going to say x equals 1, and then my upper boundary, we're going to go from 1 to 7, so there's 7 terms. And then it looks like we're just going to do the common ratio of 2. Now, you say, well, what's the initial value? Well, it's 1. When there isn't an initial value or a first term listed, it's 1. So we're going to say 2 raised to the x minus 1, and that's it. Hit equals or enter, and that one is equal to 127. And let's do the next one. So the next one then will be shoot, let me clear this out so you guys can see it. Again, I'm going to hit the math button. I'm going to scroll down till I get the summation. Now, see how that has a 0 in front of it? Let me scroll this up so you can see it. See how that has the 0 in front of it? If I hit 0 on my calculator, that's the same as hitting enter. So I'm going to hit X. We're going from 1 to 5, so it'll be 5 terms. My initial value or my initial term is 3. My common ratio is going to be 2. And I'm going to raise that to the x minus 1. and hit equals. So that one is 93. And then my last one is going to be, again, I'm going to hit math. Now I know it's 0, so I'm just going to hit 0. Watch this. Boom. Automatically pulls it up. Equals 1. And then, actually, you know what I'm going to do? We know how to do that, but sometimes you're at home and maybe you don't have one of these fancy calculators. So if you go to my website and click on calculators, the first calculator that pops up is the Symbolab thing. Okay. Now, what I like about Symbolab is that it has summation notation already built in. So this right here is sigma. So that is the capital letter. So what I want to do is I'm going to just enter this stuff in like normal. So I would say I'm going to start at 1. Well, I hit the wrong one. So I'm going to click this one. Shoot, I had it. So this one, I'm going to say n equals 1. But I don't want to go to infinity. There we go. My upper boundary was 5. And then in parentheses here, I'm going to put 3. And then I'm going to raise that to the n minus 1. Now I could put any letter. I just didn't feel like retyping it. Okay. So if I hit go, now the nice thing about this is it'll actually show you the numbers that the initial term was 1. Remember I said if there isn't an initial term listed, then it will be 1. The common ratio is 3. We knew that. And we go all the way till n equals 5. So, and then this stuff is how they did the math and stuff. So anyways, well, there's a shortcut to find the sum. I didn't tell you guys that. So anyways, it's 121 is where I'm going with this. And we're just going to verify that on our calculator real quick. So just so you guys know that we're getting the same thing every time. So we're going to say our upper boundary is 5. And then our common ratio is 3. We're going to raise that to the x minus 1. And oops, I don't want that. There we go. And it is 121. So over here, I'm just going to label this as 121. And then we're going to put these in order, okay? So let's do that. The first one is 80. So I'm going to put that one right here. The next one is 93. So I'm going to put that one right here. The next one, oops, I wrote down the wrong number. It's 121. Why did I write that down that way like that? So that's 121. So that one is next. And then This one is last. And that's it.